What's up, car dealers? All right, so we're back for another installment about third parties explained. This is all going to be about cars.com, everything we need to know quickly. Welcome back, guys. David Feldman-Makrias here, and we're going to dive right in. We explain everything digital marketing related to car dealers, e-commerce, agency owners, and the lot. Today, we're focusing on car dealers, specifically for cars.com, third parties. We did make another video recently about car gurus, fully explained. And the precipice of that video was an actual representative of car gurus contacting me trying to solicit business from one of our car dealer clients. Now, same kind of thing happened with cars.com, and I figured, hey, let's have another video quickly explaining cars.com from our angle, the highlights that we got, some of the questions and things you can ask the next time you talk to your cars.com rep or get solicited by a cars.com rep. And how do we differentiate which one we should use? What are the actual premium features? Without further ado, let's do it. So, made this quick little presentation, and let's go over the highlights first. I'm going to get into the highlights, then I'm going to go through some of the attachments that this cars.com rep gave me. I'm not going to bore you with all the different pages and attachments. I'm just going to give you the highlights as far as what those PDFs and attachments are. Then I'm going to go through, finally, what the pricing proposal is for a specific store in question. So let's do it. So like I said, pricing breakdown will be at the end. Only one premier listing per zone for new and used of the market. Of the make, I'm sorry. This is the important and exclusive. This is important and exclusive because you not everyone can just be at the top. My notes are a little bit off the cuff here, so don't bother with the grammatical scrutiny. So I do think this is interesting. If we go to cars.com right now, and I'm going to look up, I don't know, a Ford. Let's see. Is it going to glitch out on me? Let's do an Escape. 30 miles. Okay, so when I looked up a Ford Escape, I actually changed my miles to 10 miles in this zip code, and this is what pops up. We have a sponsored ad right here. New 2024 Ford Escape from Ziegler Ford of North Riverside. So North Riverside has the premier listing for this zone, okay? And I'm going to explain to you zone in just a moment. But basically what that means is that if you have the make premier, okay, make meaning whatever Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Toyota, if you have that, then you will own the top spot regardless of price, regardless of, competition, whatever, in that zone. And you can differentiate that between new and used. And the cool thing about that is there's only one. You can only have one premier in the new category and one premier in the used category per zone. So if there's a Ford dealer, and that's differentiated by make. So let me give you an example. If there's, we got Roche Ford and Ziegler Ford of North Riverside. These two stores, if they're located and targeting in that one zone, this 60181 zone, 10 miles, they can only have one listing. Or I'm sorry, one premier ad. Okay? Meaning they both can't have the premier. Only one dealership can have it, which is actually pretty cool because you will guarantee yourself at the top no matter what for that zone and for that individual make. So in this case, Ziegler Ford of North Riverside guarantees that they're going to be at the top in this radius or in this specific zone for Ford Escape, which is pretty cool. Nobody else can be at the top. I do like that, because I'm a fan of PPC. I'm a fan of Google Ads. It just makes sense, right? So I think it makes sense to consider that and to ask your cars.com rep, if you don't know already, are there available premier listings for either new or used in my make? Meaning if you're a Ford dealer, if you're a Chevy dealer, if you're a Chrysler dealer, if you're a Nissan dealer, if you're a Toyota, Honda, whatever, you should ask your rep, hey, is there a new or used premier listing available in my zone of coverage or close by for this specific make that I am? Cool. All right. So if I go back here, let's talk about zones. This was an example zone map um, that the rep gave me for Chicagoland. Now it's by zone, so it's not just by zip code. So that example, the 60181, kind of falls in here ish for Chicagoland. So that means it's the far west zone. That means Ziegler Ford of North Riverside owns the new top spot in this entire zone. So even other dealers that are in this zone, they can't own that. I think that's pretty cool. You own the top spot no matter what. That's gonna prominate some leads. And another highlight, to go back here for a minute, another highlight is Cars.com is 3 used to 1 new. So 3-1 used to new. So used make, if you're having trouble selling used cars, premier listing on used for the make. I think that's pretty smart to do if you're not doing it already. If you don't have this premier listing, ask about it. I think that's one of the bigger highlights for Cars.com. Cars.com has enough traffic, right? And that's all of what this is. Cars.com, interestingly enough, I'm going a little bit out of order here, but it is in Chicago, strongest performing market. That's because Cars.com originated in Chicago. That's what the dude told me. He says it's the strongest performing market. Maybe he's full of poop. I'm not sure, but it sounded good. Let's go back in order. So pricing breakdown, we covered the Premier. Okay, the leads include phone, email, and chat, but does not include website transfers, directions, map views, save vehicles, VDP, printouts. What does that mean? We're going to scroll down here all the way to the bottom. Lead expectations from active competitors. So for the store in question that he was trying to solicit, that the rep was trying to solicit, I asked him, hey, pull me our top 5 competitors and then show me the results. So he actually pulled for me. It's May 17th of 2024. He pulled me February, March, April of 2024. Competitors 1 through 5. He can't name the names, but everybody's out there. And he gave me used VDP by VIN. So like, okay, 76 VDPs generated per VIN. New, there are 15 VDPs per VIN. And this is what's interesting, like used leads per VIN. 0.48. So what does that mean? That means if I had 100 used cars, I got 48 leads. Used leads per VIN. That means I got half a lead for each one of my cars. Really what that means is if I have 100 used cars, I got 48 leads. That's what that means. It's just, this is a weird way to put it. So if I got 100 new cars, I got 13 leads. That's what that essentially means. So yeah, that's what you can expect. And that's actually kind of interesting because it bases it off inventory. If you know you have 50 used cars, okay, this competitor at 50 used cars got 25 used leads. At 100 new cars, they got 13 new leads, right? And that was for February. And then let's just do another one. Competitor 5 for April had a 0.36 and a 0.14. So if they had 100 used cars in April, they got 36 leads, and 50 new cars for April, they got I don't know what that math is right now. 10%, 5, like 7 leads. I think if they had 50 new cars, they got 7 leads. I think that's right. Okay. Anyways, no more mental arithmetic. So basically what you can do, the point of this is you can ask the lead expectations from active competitors and what they're getting. He won't give us the actual competitor names, but that's actually pretty cool to see, okay, how are they doing and how can I benchmark myself? And are we converting the same, right? One thing I will say, too, to do a sanity check, and I do this often with dealers that are using third parties, is we'll go on here and we'll do some sample searches right on the tool. Do we pop up? Is our pricing pushing out? Oftentimes guys will price cars in vAuto and just, think that it sends out. And, of course, why would it not? But sometimes there's errors. Sometimes there's pricing debugs. Sometimes all the inventory doesn't syndicate correctly. So it's always worth sanity checking and just looking at your listings, once a week, twice a week, something, right? Not twice a week. I'm sorry. Once a week, once every 2 weeks. Okay, let's go back. All right. Where were we? So we talked about leads. Yeah, there's 27 million monthly visitors. 27 million monthly visits. Cars.com's strongest market in Chicago. This is interesting. 74% of Cars.com traffic doesn't visit Car Gurus. So I wrote that as a little note. And then I come to this slide in one of the deck slides that he has. And this is the most interesting slide from the deck, but is it real, right? Quick sanity check needed. Shopper you can't find anywhere else. Our audience knows they don't need to shop anywhere else to find the right vehicle and the right dealer. Of the 27 million monthly unique visitors on our site, most don't go anywhere else. 74% of Cars.com visitors do not visit Car Gurus. So they're trying to separate themselves, right? So he's saying that out of all the Cars.com traffic, it's actually unique. There isn't Car Gurus traffic. And then 85% of Cars.com traffic doesn't go to Carfax. 82% of Cars.com traffic doesn't go to KBB. 93% doesn't go to TrueCar. 90% doesn't go to Edmunds. And 73% doesn't go to AutoTrader. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to prove that. I asked him, too. I'm like, this sounds really interesting. It's a great selling point. How do you prove it? Prove it to me. And he kind of didn't because, I don't think anybody asked him that question before. But it's like, if you're going on third-party providers as a person looking for, a vehicle, I would think there's more than 20 or 15% of the population looking for cars going on multiple third-party sites. Just me, And if I look at trends too, let's look at Google Trends for a minute. And I look up, let's look at the actual, Michael Cohen. Let's look at the actual volume. Ooh, we're going to do past 90. So we have an interest level between 100 and 75, hovering around this 75. Pretty good, right? Now let's type in AutoTrader. Past 90. Wow. AutoTrader's all over the board. Interest level is not stagnant. I wonder if it's because what I typed in. There you go. If I just look up AutoTrader, same sort of interest level, hovering around that 75, right? So AutoTrader and Cars.com more or less equal in search demand from Google, right? And then if we look at Car Gurus, about the same. Little bit higher than the others as far as search demand. So they're all kind of the same. Those are the big three players. Let's just do Edmunds too for smiles. Little bit less, below the 75. Kind of makes sense. So AutoTrader, Cars.com, Car Gurus, kind of all the same. So, and that's how I view them too. They all are going to tout their own stuff, but what's real, what's not real? The only real selling piece of it that I found interesting is their Premier, because you're guaranteed at the top. And I think you got to test it out, So let's go back to our highlights. So Car Gurus has the best deal. So this is, algorithm priority, right? Car Gurus will prioritize you by whatever the best deal is. Trader, meaning AutoTrader, will prioritize you on whoever's paying the most, premium, preferred, blah, 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 blah. Whoever's got the biggest package. Cars.com, this one's supposed to go here. Cars.com, price is not the ultimate factor for best match. That's what he told me. He said price is not the ultimate factor. There are other factors that go into it. It's a little bit broad, but I don't know if I believe this part either. I think they all prioritize who pays the most. But he says Cars.com doesn't. So that means you can be on a whatever package in whatever zone and have the same visibility, even though, your competitor is paying more. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. The other interesting part is Cars.com is 3 used to 1 new. Good to know. So we covered this slide. We covered, Chicago traffic volume. So this is just traffic volume. How many visitors? We were looking at a specific make in question, Honda. Total searches, 2.2 million, 1.9 million visits, 969,000. I mean, it's like, okay, there's some traffic here. Great. Here's our zone map, which we talked about. Lead expectations. This part I think is the most interesting for me because it actually gives an expectation of what results you can expect. So, and I would ask them for this. I'd ask Trader and Gurus for it too if they can do something like this. Like, okay, out of all of my franchise competitors, what results are they getting and what can I expect? And this is actually it. And then you can benchmark yourself to say, am I meeting this? Am I not meeting this? So on and so forth. So that was pretty useful. The Premiere was pretty useful. Now, finally, the creme de la creme, which we've all been waiting for this entire time, pricing. So this is what he quoted me. Up to 100 used, all new, $4,500 a month. Up to 150 used, all new, $5,750 a month. Car social unit, so that's their retargeting. Retargeting all, like if I go on cars.com and I click an escape and then I go on to Facebook after that, I'm going to be followed around with a escape ad, essentially, on Facebook. I don't know what the frequency is, though. I'd love to know what the frequency. I mean, the product itself makes sense, but if there's not enough frequency here for $1,000 a month, that's a great question. Like, what is the ad frequency? Like, what's the reporting on that? Like, oh, you got this many clicks and this many impressions. Give me, like, the actual saturation, because if I have a lot of cars and then I'm not getting a lot of frequency, it doesn't really matter. So, and then he quoted me for this Honda application. Premier used Honda South. Premier used Honda, $2,350 a month. So that's that Premier package. That's the only thing that kind of got me. Like, I'd like to know that there's an exclusivity to that. So, guys, that's it. That's Cars.com. Quickly explained. I hope this helps. Tried to give you as many highlights as I could. I have more material. Comment me if you want to see the more material. The more material includes stuff like, So, yeah. I have decks. I have material on the social retargeting, bunch of different stuff. So let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. David Feldman-Makrias will be back again with more car dealer, e-commerce, and general advertising stuff. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.